All right, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see here, this is not my Model Y. This is actually my buddy's brand new Model S. This is the all-wheel drive long range edition, and it does come in that new ultra red color, which is really, really nice. A lot deeper of a red than their previous models. And I'm really like this one because a lot of my previous cars, I've actually had a bunch of maroon and like burgundy cars. Now, as far as specs go, this thing is rated to go about 405 miles, 0 to 60 in 3.1, with a top speed of 149 miles per hour. This is not the Plaid version. What's crazy is that the Plaid version is rated to go 0 to 60 in 1.9. Now, of course, this video is not a review on this Model S. This is more of just a first impressions, first look at this car coming from a Model Y. Now, if you guys know, I've had my Model Y since June of 2022. It is nice to see some of these things when I opened the car up and I drove it, just to see some of the things that are a little bit different from my Model Y to this one, and that's what we'll talk about in this video. Kind of go through some of those main features or main things that I saw. Now, I have driven a bunch of Model S's in the past, but this is, of course, the latest and greatest one. One of the things that first caught my eye is, of course, the color, the ultra red. I love the deep color of it. One thing that I did notice when I was looking at this thing is that the bottom kind of valence here on the side is fully color matched, where mine on the Model Y and most Model Ys, they're just that plastic black. And the one thing I did see is on the doors, we also have an additional rubber gasket all the way around. Does give it probably a lot better sound deadening, and also it has that solid feel when you're shutting the doors. Another difference too, of course, is the door handles. These recede, so they go nice and flush with the car, where the Model Y and the Model 3, you have to press and kind of pull it open. These actually go in and they go nice and flush with the car, which is really nice feature. And coming along to the backside with the rear, one thing I did notice too, same thing, just a little bit higher. Like this kind of just feels a little bit, a little upgrade is like right here, where normally on my Model Y, it's more of that plastic look. Here it has that gloss finish, which is really nice too. And we have the gloss finish all the way across here with the Tesla. This model, the long range one, does not include a wing. I believe that's gonna be for the Plaid version, as well as the Plaid badge. One thing I did notice here too is the upgraded cameras. The 2023 models now have hardware 4, and the one way you could tell if you do have the newer cameras, the higher resolution cameras, is it actually has this red tint to it. So, which is kind of cool for here because it actually matches the car. But if you are looking at the cameras directly, you can see that the shape is a little bit different. You can kind of see that the camera is a little bit different, as well as there's a red tint. Not even just here on the side, but the pillar as well as the front. All right, now when it comes down to the tires, this is one thing that I saw was interesting, is that the tires aren't squared off on all four. So he went with the 19s, and just like the performance on the Model Y, the rears are wider than the fronts. So the rears here, even though it's a 19, these are two 85/40 19s. And then when we move over here to the front wheels, these front wheels are actually different size. So where the size of the fronts are 255/45 19s, which means that you can't necessarily just rotate the tires from front to back because of the fact that the size of the tires are different, just like my Model Y. Now, one thing I did notice when I got into the car for the first time is this right here. You actually have to get your head a little bit lower to get into the car compared to my Model Y, which is something you gotta get used to, because the first 2 times I got into this car, I just banged my head right here on the very top. Interior in general definitely has been just refined, and it feels just a little bit higher quality all the way around, whether it's gonna be the wood trim here, the leather or the vegan leather on the dash, as well as the steering wheel. The steering wheel has this flat bottom. And the one thing I do like about this one, it does have that Alcantara black all the way around. I just like that better because mine has a tan, which means that it's just prone to a lot more dirt if you're touching it. I do like this kind of dark gray black that's all the way around the car. Another thing that's different with the Model S compared to the Model Y is that we do have a display here up front, where on my car, we just have the display right here on the screen. The Model S, the Model X actually does have a front display. Now, compared to my Model Y, once you get into the car here, it has such a lower stance, so it feels like it hugs the ground a lot better when you're driving. The one thing I did like on the Model S, and I believe the Model X has this too, on the newer ones, is that you can adjust the screen tilt. So right now it is pointed towards me a little bit more. I can actually change my display here, and it is now moving straight So now it's kind of straight on, almost like how it is on my car. And then if you wanted to give a little bit more angle to your passenger, you just have to press it and it'll move all the way over, which is super cool. Now when it comes to the center column, we do have the 2 charging stations. Also, we have some wood grain or wood texture on this middle area where your cup holders are, but the cup holders are actually hidden. You actually have to pull this, push that in, and it comes out. Cup holders are here, we have a pocket here, and then you can actually open up both of these for the deep pocket down below. Now, one thing you will notice here is that these stalks are gone, which means you don't have the stalk to turn or signal left and right. It took me a second to get used to it because every time I wanted to make a left turn, I would kind of swipe and there's nothing there. Now, if you wanted to switch over from park to reverse, you actually have to hold the brake down and you're sliding here. I'm actually going to grab the key right now, but all you do is slide up to go from park into drive, as well as slide down. Now, of course, these seats are different. They have the ventilation all the way through. That way you can cool your seat down. The one thing I saw was pretty cool is this right here, where if you have, like me, I have kids in my car, and if you wanted to hook up your child seat to it, they have to just have this little protective cover that goes on top. And when you want to latch your child seat in here, lift it up, and now you have the anchors here at the very bottom, which is accessible, easily accessible, and then when you don't want to use them, cover them back up. Again, when we're talking about the interior, I like this right here. Everything is nice and black. The build, of course, is a little bit more premium versus the Model Y and the Model 3, but you're also paying for that. All right, now when it comes to room in the back, I am 5'10", so looking at the leg room here, I think the passenger seat is, yeah, it's about right in the middle. So I definitely have enough room here. As far as headroom goes, if I'm sitting back, I probably have about another 4 inches or so before I hit the top. Now, when we come around to the back, just open up the trunk. This back trunk is actually really, really big. We have the shelf here on the top, and I really wish that my car had this. I know they came out with them later in the 2023 models, but it does have the kind of magnet, this little magnet pops that up, and you can actually fold that back. He puts his golf clubs in here, which is nice, and we have full storage down below. And things that changed here, we also have a cover on top. So this is a side storage, which they have covers for, which I bought for my Model Y separately on Amazon. But definitely a lot of room here on the back of the Model S. We have the same switches that pull your seat down here on the left, as well as you can also fold them. There's buttons here on the very top of each seat, so you're able to drop the back seats if you wanted to fold everything down. Now that's just a quick kind of first look at the all new Model S. Super excited for my buddy to pick up this car because of the fact that it's 2023, it's the new color. I really, really like this color. Now that's just my first look at it, and from the outside, of course, everything looks amazing. I'm gonna be taking it out for a spin. I'll come back with another video. He does have full FSD on here, which he loves, so I will take it out for a spin and do some FSD testing. I am gonna be getting FSD on mine because I do have enough credits to get 3 months FSD from the loot bucks I got from referrals. So I will be testing that out on mine, but I do want to take it to the shop and still get my car done first before I do all that stuff. I'd hate to sign up for FSD and then my car is sitting there at the body shop trying to get fixed. And that's about it. If you guys got some value, a big like would be much appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.